Since the beginning of time, we human beings have always been searching for meaning. As we go deeper to unlock the most complex questions of the cosmos, it's slowly being made clear that we're just a tiny speck in this universe. In spite of that, we managed to go beyond and peek through the most distant stars. Thanks to the most modern telescope, James Webb radiates the new scientific era of hope. 2022 has sparked breathtaking discoveries. Ever heard of the pillars of creation?
Captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. We're told these pictures show newly formed stars in a region called the Pillars of Creation.
With a splash of stunning colors and the highest resolution, this new image provides intricate details of star formation. Let's get to know more about this wonderful creation. The story of Pillars of Creation. It all started in the year 1745 when the Swiss astronomer named Jean-Philippe Lois de Jesseau first discovered the Eagle Nebula. And if you're wondering what the Eagle Nebula is, it is a famous location of many stars that produce and cluster to form amazing structures. These tremendous clusters of stars are also located in our galaxy. With over 1 billion that lie in the Milky Way, there are more yet to be born. With that being said, we'll introduce the Pillars of Creation, a region where stars are being born. The Pillars of Creation are a group of interstellar dust and gas clouds. It's in the Eagle Nebula, located 7,000 light-years from Earth in the constellation Serpens. Now back to the timeline, fast forward to 1995 when the first image of the Pillars of Creation was released. It was captured with the most well-known telescope back then, and that was the Hubble Space Telescope. This telescope did not only capture the Pillars of Creation once, in fact, it was twice. The next moment was in the year 2014 when the telescope provided a clearer image. The image was viewed from various perspectives of people, but the most obvious illustration is that it looks like a reaching hand. What about you? What do you see? Well, if the Hubble Space Telescope image is still a little bit blurry for you, here's the newest version providing the highest resolution. It was on October 19, 2022 when NASA just released the most detailed image of the Pillars of Creation ever captured. And so as we know, the newest and adored telescope of this era. The James Webb Telescope never fails to bring many exciting discoveries and crystal clear images. Now we get to see another successful image, showing the pillars in fantastic detail, so much so that it could reveal new information about how stars are born. So what does this mean? The image has been used as a symbol for everything from science education to space exploration to the sheer beauty of the cosmos itself. But why does this image have such power? Well, it only transpires to dive deep into this most powerful image of all time. James Webb's most powerful image. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. Well, if we're going to talk about this most powerful image captured by the most powerful telescope, then the product would obviously be more than 1,000. That's because the number of stars in the region of the Pillars of Creation is about 8,000 stars. Since the stars in that region are still forming new ones, the number of stars will still multiply in the years to come. It's just incredible that these stars were revealed in an image of the James Webb Space Telescope. In contrast with the images produced by the Hubble Space Telescope, which looks plain, James Webb can clearly see the stars. It's like looking at the sky with the naked eye. But how could this be? What science made this possible? Well, it's all about the capability of infrared wavelengths. The camera they used is called a near-infrared camera, also known as NIRCam. This is possible because the infrared wavelength capability of the James Webb Space Telescope is at its full extent, enough to look at the forming stars in a way that the Hubble Space Telescope cannot. And if you're appreciating this image from the moment you saw it, might as well know the analysis behind it. Perhaps you'll be even more amused if you find out. Aside from the 1,000 stars in the Pillars of Creation, James Webb failed to see any visible galaxy. Instead, it flourishes with a kaleidoscope of colors that twinkle, and every shade means something. Let's start with the blue regions. That part represents oxygen. The green parts represent both nitrogen and hydrogen. The last shade, which is red, represents sulfur. All of these elements mentioned are essential ingredients of star formation. The formation of the Pillars of Creation. The stars that are being created in the Pillars of Creation are just about a few 100,000 years of age. It might sound old already, but knowing that usual stars are billions of years old is what makes the stars in the Pillars of Creation more unique. That's why NASA called it baby stars. Aside from that, it makes more sense that the dub name Pillars of Creation is based on the fact that the stars are being created most in this region. Isn't it fantastic? The baby stars can be found in the region that is tinged with red color. In this part, dust and gas are present. These substances are capable of forming stars when they collapse under their own gravity, which is driven by having sufficient mass. As a result, this collision slowly heats up, and ta-da! A new star is born. If you look more carefully, the red region isn't the only one that plays a significant role in star formation. This is because the edges of some pillars that look like wavy lines are actually the region of star ejection. Focus also on the part of the dust. From there, it also represents what they call supersonic jets, which is the product of baby stars ejecting hydrogen molecules from the surrounding gas and dust. These jets collide with gas and dust, which is responsible for creating the wavy lines. Now that we know how these stars come to life, what exactly does this mean in astronomy? Given the fact that we have countless stars in the universe, why do we go back to what we've already seen before? What is the significance of the Pillars of Creation? Significance of Pillars of Creation. The Pillars of Creation is a fascinating example of how new stars come into existence, but they're also a good illustration of how astronomers use light to learn about objects in space. As we get to peek at more intricate details of these stunning discoveries before, the more we get to know and take a look at the clear picture, the more scientists can get to know more of its undiscovered features. Significantly, the importance of this is the logic of stars. Webb's new image of the Pillars of Creation provides much more accurate counts of young stars, as well as information on the amount of gas and dust. This will make it easier for us to comprehend how stars emerge from these dusty clouds over the course of millions of years. So basically, this image will help astronomers to have more in-depth studies, which will eventually cause a revamping of star models. Aside from stars, they'll also study the surrounding structures in the Pillars of Creation, such as dust and gas. NASA believes that the Pillars of Creation are much more than what they imagined. Aside from that, they also said that it was practically overflowing with stars. As per NASA's statement, Webb's new view of the Pillars of Creation will help researchers revamp their models of star formation by identifying far more precise counts of newly formed stars, along with the quantities of gas and dust in the region. Over time, they will begin to build a clearer understanding of how stars form and burst out of these dusty clouds over millions of years. The Pillars of Creation are truly a sight to behold. It's been a source of awe and inspiration for astronomers for decades. The new James Webb image is just another reminder of how incredible our universe is and how much we can learn from it. We've shown you what the pillars look like, what they're made of, and how they were created. But now that you know the story behind these structures, what do you think? Some see it as an eerie image that reaches like a ghostly hand. Others are astonished by its unique formation. Do you find it spooky or beautiful? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.